What is up, geeks and gamers? Welcome to another weekly episode of Ask GUG. I am your host, Josh Moores, and I have some questions that you guys want to get answered. And we'll be doing this every week. So next Thursday there will be a different host, and so we'll probably be doing this for a bit. I don't know when we're going to stop, but I would just also like to say, for those of you who do know me, I have been in the Bible study, Geeks Under Grace Bible study with Drew and another member of Geeks Under Grace, or a writer, I should say. And around the site, I mostly write on Christian living, anime, and gaming. You might have seen some of my reviews for certain anime or certain things, but I like to watch a lot of anime, like to do a lot of gaming, and I also like apologetics, which is the defending of the Christian faith. And I have some questions here that you all want to get answered, but I only chose a few of them, so I'm sorry if your question did not get picked. So I'm a little bit about myself for those of you who do not know me. I'm 18 years old. I'm one of the youngest writers here on Geeks Under Grace. I am a senior in high school. This is my last year in high school. Don't know really what to do after high school. I'm still kind of planning on that. And I like to play basketball. It's one of my favorite sports that I like to really, take my free time off and just shoot free throws and just shoot around. And I'm a decent basketball player. I lead a Bible study club at my school and a prayer group as well. And that happens every, I think, 2 weeks that happens. And for the prayer group, it's every Tuesday, usually in the morning before school. I meet with other people, and we pray for the school and the teachers. And I'm also one of the tech people on my church team, and I'm also help out with middle school youth group. So that's about me, and let's get into the questions. So one person asked, what are your top favorite anime and anime movies, and why are they your favorite? Well, I have a bunch that I have watched, but I would say right now one of the animes that I've been watching is Akame ga Kill. Some of you may have heard of that, and it's actually almost, for those of you who are caught up with it, next week, Sunday, is when the last episode will be airing, and I will be doing a review on it, so be on the lookout for that. The reason why I like Akame ga Kill, because the group Night Raid, which is a group of assassins, they are trying to get rid the empire of this, because the empire is actually corrupt, and so they're trying to stop this empire, and so they have to face other people as well. A lot of action and a lot of good character development in the series. There is a lot of blood in the game. I mean, not the game, the anime. Like, you can, like, I think in the first episode, Tasmin, which is the main character, he will sever off this, I think, girl's head or body, and you'll see that the blood will be everywhere. It doesn't really show any like guts and everything. It's just just blood that it just shows, and other characters. And I'm not going to spoil anything. It's up to you if you want to watch that. Another anime that I really like is Fairy Tail. That's one of the popular ones, and the reason why I like it is because it kind of, to me, I think it's a lot better than Naruto, because Naruto has like their filler. The fillers are kind of a little bit boring, but some of them are interesting when you find out. But Fairy Tail's like fillers are, I think, like closely related to this story. Some of them are like not off topic, like with Naruto's like arcs, they last for a long time, but Fairy Tail's arcs can, like not the arcs, but the fillers, they last only for like a little bit. But the arcs I really like for Fairy Tail. They provide action, you get to know everybody's story, and in Naruto you do know everybody's story, but I felt kind of like the idea in Naruto was kind of rushed, for those of you who have kept up with the manga. And I haven't really caught up with the Shippuden all that much. I stopped kind of watching after Naruto ended, so I have a lot to catch up on that, on Naruto Shippuden. So another anime that I like is Hajime no Ippo, which is actually, in English it's called The Fighting Spirit. I actually did a review for season 1. It's a boxing anime, one of the sports anime that I reviewed. It was my very first review on the website, and it's about this guy named Makino Uchi Ippo, and he he ends up being bullied, and then he ends up becoming a boxer because one of the boxers from the gym ends up training him. And what I really like about that anime is because you see him develop into like he starts off not doing all that well, and then you see him train and progress all of this time just to get where he's at. And I'm all caught up with Hajime no Ippo, all the seasons, but the manga is like ongoing. It's up into the thousands, the chapters, and so from what I've heard from somebody that I know is that they develop the season every 2 years, which I honestly don't like, but that's one of the anime that I like. And one of the movies that I like is Summer Wars. Some of you probably might have heard that. I watched that with one of my friends. It's a really good anime because anime movie because it kind of provides like the technology type of thing. Like what would happen if there's like this huge technology like attack on this network of gamers. Basically, it's kind of like Sword Art Online a little bit for those of you who have watched it, and it was pretty fun anime that I really liked watching the movie for. And I think another anime I would have to say that's my anime movie that's my favorite is the first Naruto movie, which was the Land of Snow one. It had a lot of action in it. That was, I think, one of my favorite movies, but I have a ton of others, but I don't want to blast this out too much. Another person asks, what are ways that help you keep focused on God more? I mean, what is that compels you to go deep into understanding who He is? How can you help relay the way you do those things to us for those who struggle in reading and whatnot? Well, on a daily basis, I usually wake up, and a lot of times before I go to school, because I still go to school, I usually pray with my parents, and we actually do like a family prayer thing. Like, since it's only because my dad leaves early in the morning, but it's usually my mom and my other brothers before we start off the day. We usually pray, and before we go off and do things, and then during the day, I'll usually pray as I'm walking to my classes and pray to God for guidance throughout the day and to protect me, and not only me but also my brothers who are in school and also my family, and to help me about certain struggles. One thing that I like to do is I like to do a lot of devotionals that my youth group has put out. I'm going through a series in the youth group where it's Save Us from Satan's Power. It's going through the time where the prophets were predicting about the coming of Jesus, and then in the New Testament where it was fulfilled. So basically, it would basically be a countdown to Christmas towards the when Jesus would be there. I sometimes read the Bible with my family. Sometimes we'll read a chapter and we'll discuss things, and we'll share our feelings on what we think about it is, and that's what sometimes we, as a family, that we have a tradition of doing. Also, I go to youth group on Mondays, which is the high school youth group. Tuesday, I basically rehear the message. And Wednesday, I do some tech support stuff, but I still hear the message that my church does, because the Wednesday service is for people who can't make it to the weekend service. And I usually go to the weekend service a lot, to both the Wednesday and the weekend service. So I rehear the word every week, basically. So my schedule is pretty busy a lot of the time, but I can manage to get focused more on God. And I kind of have the mentality to always put God first in my life, and to just never put anything else. I sometimes struggle with this because of distractions like technology in our day and age. You know how distracting it can be, and sometimes I forget to read my Bible, and that's basically what's ways that help me keep focused on God. And sometimes I also read apologetic books that I have, like Josh McDowell's book. I forget one of his books that I have. Here it is. It's The New Evidence That Demands a Verdict. I have this is one of his books that I read. It's actually pretty thick. It's evidence 1 and 2 fully updated in one volume to answer questions challenging Christians in the 21st century. I have not read all of this. I've only read maybe I'd say half of it, but I haven't read much of that really. So hopefully that helps out. All right. How do you handle being a Christian and living for Christ in this day and age, especially given our generation? Well, given our generation, you see that a lot of Christians or people around us are always on their mobile device or on their iPod or whatever device that they have. And I kind of think that in our day and age, how do I handle being a Christian? I set time aside and I limit my time on my devices. I always limit my time. Sometimes I do go overboard, and I think Satan distracts us when we try to live for Christ because it's hard. In our day and age, we have a lot of technology. Some people, they have a total commitment to and consistency to actually stop at a certain time, but sometimes I'll take a break off from my mobile device for a couple hours and do something else. Like, I really like to read, so I'll read up on some stuff on the Bible. If I'm bored and have nothing to do, I'll fill up my mind with good things and read up on apologetic books like the one I just showed you just recently, and read books from the library that I have in my home, because my dad has a lot of books. So that's basically how I handle it. Sometimes, though, in our society, there is people who do ask me questions like, "Why don't you have a phone?" or "Why are you not doing what I'm doing?" And I'll explain to them why I don't have what other people have, and give them the answer that I hope satisfies them. But sometimes the answer that I give, it doesn't always satisfy people, because people will always want, I don't know how to put that, but okay. Are you ever criticized in the sports industry for playing video games, or vice versa? How do you deal with it? Well, I don't really ever get criticized. I mean, people from my school know that I play a lot of video games, and they know that most of the people from my school actually have friended me, some of which don't really care about if I play video games or not. Some people, most of my friends do play video games, and most of the people who my classmates are, they play video games. So I think how do I deal with it at the time? I just brush it off. I don't really care if they criticize me for playing video games, and I just move on. Have you ever played Borderlands? Yes, I have. I really enjoy the second one. I have not played the pre-sequel. I've played a little bit of first, but I really like the second one better than the first one. And that is one game I need to keep playing, because I heard that game is amazing, and I'm so far enjoying it. What is your favorite Pokemon game? My favorite Pokemon game would have to be Pokemon Diamond. That was like the first Pokemon game I ever got on a Nintendo DS at the time. I played, I think it was Pokemon Sapphire, but it was on like an emulator, but I don't really think that counts, to be honest. I mean, I played only a little bit of it, didn't really play much of that. That was my first time playing Pokemon, so that's the generation of Pokemon that I really like. I haven't played any of the new ones like X and Y, or the new remake of Sapphire and Ruby, because I don't have a 3DS. I would like to get one in the future. Another question that one of you guys asked is, how do we apply hard times, and how do we apply the hard times to our faith? It should be noted that we are going to be going through hard times, and we are going to have to get over some of the things that approach us in life. Like, for example, it might be a friend that might have died, or it might have been a family member that might have died, or somebody passed away. Eventually, we slowly forget that person, and we sometimes do remember them at some point in our lives, but everything happens for a reason. God's will is supreme over our will. Even though sometimes we may think that God should do things a certain way, He does it His own way. So I think how we apply it to our faith those hard times, we just continue on, because we are going to go through a lot of trials and tribulations and things that we will go through in our life. And for instance, my grandma, who passed away from an illness that happened, and it's almost going to be 3 years, because this month on the day after Christmas she died, and it's going to be 3 years since she's left this earth. But I know that she's in heaven right now, and she's with God, and I'm very happy that she is with God. But sometimes, do I wish that she was here still today? Yes, I do. But God has, His will for her was for her to die and not to heal her. Even though my parents wanted to, and me, myself, my family wanted her to live, but God's will was no. I'm going to take her and I'm going to free her from this pain that she had to go through for her illness. So that is all the questions that I have for today, guys. I guess I'll see you next time when the next rotation starts. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully that satisfied your guys' answers or your questions that you all asked. Thank you all for watching. Please give it a like if you enjoyed this episode. Comment down below for maybe next week's host down below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all. My name is Josh Moores, and I'm out.